somewhere. There's a king brown snake waiting there. There's a king brown snake waiting there.
Hi, I'm Les Stroud, creator of Survivor Man, and welcome to this session of training and tutorial videos from Sony Creative Software. Now, these sessions are designed to show you the techniques and the tools you need to survive your next video editing sessions. The same tools that make Sony Vegas Pro software an integral part of my own production studios. Now, these tutorials are meant to not only help you survive
simple little acts like this that get you in the most trouble.
Your next video edit, but also help you refine your craft.
In the 8.0C update to Vegas Pro software, we enhanced the trimmer window to more effectively serve the function of an old-school source monitor. If you like to work that way, Vegas Pro now gives you enhanced tools that you can use to do so. In this video, we'll explore this trimmer functionality. First, add a file to your timeline and click to place the timeline cursor within that clip so that you see the selected frame in the video preview window. Next, right-click a file in the Vegas Pro Explorer window and choose Open in Trimmer from the menu to load that file into the trimmer window. Notice that the window shows just one frame of video. That's because the Show Video Monitor option is on by default. This causes the trimmer to display just what's currently under the trimmer's cursor. You can still get to the pre-version 8.0C trimmer view if you want to. To do that, click the Show Video Monitor button. Now the trimmer shows multiple frames of video instead of just the frame under the cursor. Click the Show Video Monitor button again to engage it. Now undock the trimmer window and dock it again directly next to the video preview window. Next, set your video project properties to match the properties of the video that you'll be working with in the trimmer. For example, since I'm working with HDV files in my project, I'll set my project video properties to match that HDV footage. Click the Project Video Properties button and choose the appropriate template from the template drop-down list. Resize the trimmer window so that it is essentially the same size as the video preview window. Now, drag the divider bar between the window docking area and the timeline up and down to make the window docking area taller and shorter. Notice that as you do so, the two windows, the trimmer and the video preview windows, resize together so that they show the same size video frame. Naturally, you see the video you loaded in the trimmer window in the trimmer's preview and the video from your timeline in the video preview window. The trimmer window also shows the audio waveform for the file being displayed. Drag the dividing line between the WAV file and the video monitor up and down to change the height of the waveform. With the Show Video Monitor function active, the trimmer window behaves like a traditional source window as you play or scrub the file in it. To see this, drag the trimmer's cursor through the audio waveform. Notice that the monitor always shows you the frame under the cursor so that you can truly scrub through the window to find just the frame you want. We've added a Trimmer on External Monitor button to the trimmer window. This enables you to view the video that you've loaded into the trimmer on your external monitor, just as you can view the video from your timeline on an external monitor through the video preview window. Click the Trimmer on External Monitor button. Assuming you have your external monitor set up and properly routed, you now see the video from the trimmer on that external monitor. If you have this button selected, and you also have the Preview on External Monitor button selected in the video preview window, Vegas Pro will switch between the two video feeds to your external monitor depending upon where you have focus. For instance, with both buttons on, click in the video event on the main timeline. You see the timeline video in your external monitor. Then click in the trimmer window. You now see the trimmer video on your external monitor. You can have either, both, or neither of these external monitor buttons active. In the trimmer timeline, you see the video file's waveform. If you also want to see video thumbnails along with the waveform, click the Show Video Frames button. Now you see the waveform and video thumbnails in the timeline along with the current video frame in the video monitor area. Drag the dividing bar between the timeline and the video monitor area if you need to make the timeline taller. In addition to these enhancements to the visual aspects of the trimmer window, we've also enhanced the functionality of the window itself. In the transport bar beneath the trimmer's timeline, we've added two more new buttons. These enable you to affect the way the trimmer interacts with your main timeline and add media to your project. The Enable Timeline Overwrite button is on by default. This button makes it possible to create an insert edit in which you automatically create a hole in an event on your timeline and fill it with the media you've selected in the trimmer window. To see this, click in your main timeline to place the cursor within an existing event. Now, scrub through the trimmer timeline until you find the frame you want to start with when you add this video to your project. Let's break down what's going on here. First, the trimmer cursor defines the in point of the media you are adding to your main timeline. Second, since you have not defined an out point for the media you're adding, the out point is by default the end of the media. In other words, you'll insert the trimmer media from the in point to the end of the media. Third, the location of the cursor in the main timeline defines the insertion point for the media in the trimmer. Now, click the Add Media from Cursor button. Any event or portion of events that are covered by the inserted media are removed from the project and replaced with a new event that holds the media you just inserted from the trimmer. You can see that there are 3 events in this sequence. The middle event holds the media you just inserted from the trimmer. The first and third events were originally one long event that was split to make room for the inserted media. If you follow the same procedure with the Enable Timeline Overwrite button off, Vegas Pro does not create a hole in the original timeline event. Instead, it merely lays a new event over the top of the original one to hold the inserted media. In the procedure that we just went through, I didn't have you define an out point, so the trimmer used the end of the media file as the out. However, you can define an out point if you want a specific portion of the video in the trimmer. To do so, select an area in the trimmer timeline just as you do in the main timeline. Scrub the in and out points of the selection area to get exactly what you need. Now, click the Add Media from Cursor button. The results of overlaying this selection into your project timeline are exactly the same as you saw earlier, except that Vegas Pro honors your in and out point selections from the trimmer timeline. Here's another possible scenario. You know where you want your in point to be in the trimmer, but the trimmer out point is not critical. What's more critical is that you need to fill an exact area in the project timeline. Click the trimmer timeline to define an in point. Since you haven't made a selection, you have not defined an out point. Now, make a time selection in the main timeline over an existing event. Click the Add Media from Cursor button. This results in filling the time selection in the project timeline with the media from the trimmer starting at the trimmer cursor location and ending with whatever frame is necessary to fill exactly the time selection you made in the project timeline. Finally, there's one more interesting scenario that I want to cover. In this case, you have a specific area within the trimmer media that you want to use to fill a specific area in the project timeline. Those 2 areas might not be the same length. For instance, maybe you need to fill 20 seconds worth of space in your project timeline, but you have to fill it with only 17 seconds worth of media from the trimmer. In this case, you can use the Fit to Fill function. To see this, make a selection of around 10 seconds in the timeline. Then make a selection in the trimmer that's a couple of seconds shorter than the selection you made in the timeline. Obviously, the media you've selected in the trimmer is not long enough to fill the selection you made in the project timeline. Now, click the Fit to Fill button in the trimmer. This inserts the media from the trimmer and adjusts the media's playback rate as much as necessary to make it last for the entire time you've selected in the project timeline. In this case, it creates slow motion on the inserted clips so that it lasts for the entire selection in the timeline. Notice the sawtooth line that runs through the middle event. You'll recognize that as the indication that Vegas Pro uses to show that the playback rate of the media has been altered. One more note before I wrap up. When you're adding media from the trimmer, like we've been doing here, you don't always have to insert both the audio and the video from a file. Sometimes you want just the video, other times just the audio. The trimmer gives you the flexibility to add whatever you need. Make a selection in the trimmer timeline. Now, press the Tab key several times. As you press the Tab key, you cycle through selecting both audio and video, selecting video only, and selecting audio only. If you've selected either audio or video but not the other, an icon appears at the end of the trimmer timeline, an audio waveform if you've got just the audio, and a film strip if you've got just the video. If you have visible thumbnails like I do, you can also see the selected portion or portions highlighted. That's a more obvious indicator. But that indicator won't be there if the video thumbnails are hidden, and in that case, the icons are critical to knowing what portion of your media file you've selected. These enhancements to the trimmer window that we introduced in Vegas Pro 8.0C give you much more flexibility in working with the trimmer as a source window. If you like the more traditional old-school model of editing with a source window, you'll appreciate these additions to the trimmer.
There you go.
Now, I may have to survive out in the wild, but when it comes to meeting my next production deadline, it's Vegas Pro that is my most valuable survival tool. Thanks for watching. Check out more of this series for valuable techniques.